Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview of the next edition of Chronicles of Crime, the narrative mystery game, the Cryptid Cases. And as always, no disclaimers needed. We don't take any money from publishers. We just want to help you make an informed decision and show the game off. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So this is just going to be me talking through the first case, because if you haven't seen Chronicles of Crime before, it is a game that is heavily dependent on a device. You are scanning cards, QR codes on cards, to interact with them. Like, you'll be talking to somebody. If you want to ask them about an item you found, you'll scan the card. And then when you get to a crime scene, you can use your device to look around the location in 360 degrees and track down evidence. So yeah, this is a terrible one for filming. If you want to see Chronicles of Crime in action, we do still have, I think, at least one playthrough on the channel that we somehow forced to work with the limitations of the game. But yeah, I didn't want to record a playthrough of the one case they sent me. Instead, I played it with my 12-year-old, the entire first case, and I'll talk through what was in there. So first of all, a lot of the core Chronicles of Crime stuff remains. You're still going to locations. You're still meeting characters. You're having conversations with those characters where you can ask them about other characters and other items by scanning those other cards while you're talking to them. You're doing the crime scene investigation. You're doing the 360 VR thing and trying to find evidence. And in the end, you answer some questions to show whether or not you solved the case successfully or not. That's all pretty standard. It works well. If you like Chronicles of Crime, you're probably still going to like it here. If you don't, I don't think it's going to fix anything for you. But let's get into the new elements introduced in this set. So first of all, the big thing, the name of the game, are that you are hunting down cryptids. So they had a few of them in here. And you get these nice big sheets that give you like some information and news articles about them and give you little hints about what their weaknesses might be. Because when you think you've found a cryptid, although the game implies that not every case will have a real cryptid, a real monster involved, when you think you've found one, you have to use your neutralizer. You have to say who you're going to shoot with it, and you have to load it with something that represents a weakness of the creature you're looking at, which again involves investigating these cryptid profiles. And only then can you actually defeat the cryptid, which, at least in the one case we played, was kind of a core part of reaching the best resolution, which we did find, by the way. We had what I think is the happiest ending. We got 5 stars, answered every question correctly. So there's that. There's this whole kind of like hunting element and identifying what the actual monster is. You also have 2 characters that are kind of like the real people doing the investigation in this. They are heavily based on Mulder and Scully. I mean, look for Christian Jefferson here. You can see they have a "Truth is Out There" a poster behind him, just like Fox Mulder. And they each have their own little mechanic. For Jessie DeLuca, you can use her analyzer because she's the more science-minded one. That'll let you examine like magical objects and blood traces and that kind of thing and find out extra information. And then Christian has this Echoes of the Past ability that lets you kind of go into a trance and see scenes from the past in certain locations you're in. So both of those abilities are pretty cool. Trying to figure out when to use them is interesting because both of them use up more time than average. So if you do them too often, you could run out of time for the case. And at least as far as I saw, those were the only new mechanics. The rest is just kind of typical Chronicles of Crime stuff. Now, what did I think of the actual case? Well, first of all, I didn't think it was too easy or too hard. Like I said, we did figure everything out, but there were some loose ends and some red herrings to kind of confuse things. We did have to read a good bit in multiple of these little cryptid pamphlets to figure out exactly what was going on because more than one monster might have been involved. And all the core stuff you expect from Chronicles of Crime worked out here. The narrative was pretty interesting. The kind of background of the situation we found ourselves in was cool. The only negative thing I'll say is that the Christian and Jesse stuff was a little weird because several times in the case when we got to a new location, they would have a little banner back and forth, and that's totally cool. I get that they were trying to go for the Fox Mulder, Dana Scully kind of dynamic and have them sort of quipping with each other and stuff. But it was a couple of times super jarring here to be kind of vague but specific at the same time. There was one part where we came upon a dead body, and a dead body of a younger person, like a pretty tragic situation, and they like quipped at each other a little bit, and I was like, what are y'all doing? So that element of the writing was a little off, a little weird. And in general, even though they were trying to like make me like these characters and have stuff going on, it didn't quite gel yet. But that could be fixed with the writing as they develop things. I hope they put a little bit more time into the relationship here. Because if they actually make these interesting characters and you feel like you're kind of following them along on fun adventures, I think that'd be great. They did not achieve that, in my opinion, in this first case. But the actual mystery, the actual investigation, the characters you interacted with, the location, questions, the details and things you had to figure out. There was like one kind of leap of faith we had to do, or not leap of faith, sorry, leap of logic. That was really interesting. I think all of that worked out great. So from the one case I played, I'm pretty positive on Cryptid Cases. The cryptids are cool. The neutralizer stuff is cool. It's pretty good. And I haven't played Chronicles of Crime in several years, so it's nice to see that it's still going and still going strong. But check out the crowdfunding page for more information, because I don't know like how many cases there are going to be or any of that kind of stuff. Again, all I got was early access to a single case. And see what you think for yourself. Thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, Pedro Lucas, Miles, KCW, Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.